You are losing her right now. Not because you aren't good enough, not because you're too nice. You are losing her because you are blind. You think you're being respectful by waiting. You think you're being a gentleman by playing it safe until you are 100% sure. That safety is a lie. It is the fastest way to incinerate attraction. While you sit there analyzing every text, wondering if she likes you, she is actually waiting. She is screaming at you with her behavior, but she's using a language you were never taught to speak. Women do not ask for what they want directly. They operate on plausible deniability. They set the trap, and they wait for you to walk into it. They give you the green light, but it's painted in invisible ink. If you miss these windows, she doesn't think you're respectful. She thinks you are weak. She thinks you lack the spine to go for what you want. And just like that, the window closes. You land in the friend zone while another man who simply paid attention takes her home. I am going to hand you the decoder key, the 7 subtle signs that mean go. Once you see these, you will realize how many chances you've wasted in the past. Don't let that happen again. Before we reveal the first sign, make a contract with yourself. Hit the like button to signal you are done hesitating. Subscribe right now to lock in your spot. Stop guessing. Start acting. 1. You have been trained to respect personal space. Society tells you to keep your distance, to be non-threatening, to stay in your lane. So when she steps a little too close, you step back. You shift your weight. You apologize for getting in her way. That polite step backward is a rejection. Here is the truth. A woman protects her personal space like a fortress. If a man she is not attracted to steps within 2 feet of her, her body naturally recoils. She creates distance. Therefore, if she voluntarily enters your intimate zone, that invisible 18-inch bubble around your body, it is never an accident. It is a breach. She is creating a vacuum. In her mind, she is testing your comfort with tension. She wants to see if you flinch. She is offering you her proximity to see if you have the courage to close the gap. She wants to feel your heat. She is giving you permission to touch her, but she is doing it in a way where she can claim innocence if you don't react. I was just grabbing a napkin, she might say, but her shoulder lingered against your chest for 3 seconds too long. If you move away, you signal that you are intimidated by her sexuality. You signal that you are safe, nice, and ultimately platonic. The action step. Next time she steps into your space, do not retreat. Plant your feet. Be a statue. Do not apologize. Instead, turn your body 10 degrees toward her. Look her dead in the eyes. Let the silence hang there. Let the air get thick. By standing your ground, you communicate that you are comfortable with her closeness and you are ready for more. But while body language screams loud, the next sign is silent, and most men mistake it for boredom. 2. The linger gap. You are terrified of silence. In a conversation, the moment the talking stops, your heart rate spikes. You think you are losing her interest. You scramble to find a new topic, a joke, a story, anything to fill the void. You are suffocating the seduction. When a woman stops talking but stays engaged with you, she is not bored. She is opening the door. Conversation is safe. Silence is dangerous. Seduction happens in the quiet moments. In her brain, verbal communication is for connection, but nonverbal is for desire. By letting the conversation die, she is removing the barrier of words. She is creating a stage for you to make a physical move. She is thinking, I'm done talking. Now do something. If you rush to fill that silence with chatter about your job or the weather, you are effectively telling her, I am not ready to escalate. You force her back into the friend zone because you refuse to sit in the tension of the moment. You chose the safety of words over the risk of action. The action step. When the conversation drops, shut your mouth. Do not panic. Do not break eye contact. Hold her gaze. Drop your eyes to her lips for a split second, then back to her eyes. Count to 3 in your head. If she doesn't look away, and if she doesn't rush to speak either, she isn't waiting for you to ask another question. She is waiting for you to lean in, but sometimes she doesn't just stop talking. She starts fixing things that aren't broken. 3. The preening glitch. You see her fidgeting and you assume the worst. You're talking to her, and she keeps messing with her hair. She twists a ring on her finger. She adjusts her strap or smooths out her jeans. You interpret this as nervousness, insecurity, or worse, that she's bored and looking for an exit. You think she's distracted, so you try to talk faster to win her attention back. You are misreading a biological mating signal that is older than language itself. This is the preening glitch. When a woman feels attraction, her body enters a state of hyper-awareness. Her subconscious mind is screaming, "Make yourself perfect for him." She fixes her hair to expose her neck, one of the most vulnerable and erotic parts of the female body. She touches her lips or her throat to draw your eyes there. She is not distracted. She is presenting. She is literally grooming herself for you. She is trying to ensure that when you finally look at her, you like what you see. It is an invitation for your gaze. If you ignore it, or worse, ask her, "Are you okay?" you kill the sexual polarity instantly. You turn a moment of seduction into a therapy session. The action step. Do not ignore the fidgeting. Call it out, but do it playfully. If she plays with her hair, don't just watch. Catch her eye while she does it. Give a slight smirk, the kind that says, "I know exactly what you're doing." You can even say, "You can stop fixing your hair." You look enough like trouble already. This acknowledges her effort, validates her attraction, and frames you as the prize she is trying to impress. But sometimes the sign isn't about how she looks. It's about what she suddenly claims she can't do alone. 4. You pride yourself on being useful. When a woman asks you to reach something on a high shelf, open a jar, or fix a setting on her phone, you jump into fix-it mode. You treat it like a task list. You complete the mission, you smile, and you wait for a thank you. You are acting like an employee, not a lover. Here is the reality. She does not need your help. She is a grown woman. She has lived her whole life opening jars and reaching things without you. If she specifically seeks you out for a trivial task that she could easily do herself or ask anyone else to do, it is not about the task. It is about the interaction. She is manufacturing a damsel in distress scenario. Biologically, she is triggering your provider instinct. She wants to see your competence. She wants to watch your hands work. But most importantly, she is creating a socially acceptable excuse to isolate you. "Can you help me with this?" is almost always code for, "I want to be alone with you, and I need an excuse to leave my friends." If you just do the job and walk away, you have failed the test. You proved you are useful, but you failed to prove you are dangerous. You became her brother, not her suitor. The action step. Help her, but do not do it for free. Charge a tax in flirtation. If she asks you to open a bottle, don't just twist it and hand it back. Open it. Hold it for a second. Look her in the eye and say, "What would you do without me?" If she asks you to reach something, lean in close to her as you grab it. Let your arm brush against hers. Make the moment linger. Show her that you are helping because you want to be near her, not because you are her servant. Now that you have isolated her, you need to watch where she tries to position you. 5. You are at a party, a bar, or a group dinner. You are talking to your friends. She is talking to hers. But somehow, every time you turn around, she is there. She isn't talking to you directly, but she is hovering. She ends up in the same group circle as you. She goes to the bar when you go to the bar. You think it's a coincidence. You think, wow, small world. We keep bumping into each other. You wave and keep walking. It is not a coincidence. It is an orbit. Women are strategic about their positioning. If a woman is attracted to you, she will put herself in your line of fire. She wants to be seen by you. She wants to be easily accessible to you. She is making it as easy as possible for you to start a conversation without her having to chase you openly. She is placing herself on your path so you can trip over her. By ignoring her presence or treating it as random luck, you are ignoring her effort. You are making her feel invisible. Eventually, she will stop orbiting. She will assume you aren't interested, and she will drift to a planet that actually has gravity. The action step. Recognize the pattern immediately. If she appears near you twice in 10 minutes, it is deliberate. Do not ask, "Are you following me?" That sounds accusatory. Instead, assume the frame that she is following you because she can't help it. Turn to her and say, "We have to stop meeting like this, people will start to talk." Or simply, "I see you finally made your way over to the VIP section." Open the circle. Invite her in physically. If you are standing, shift your body to make space for her right next to you. Reward her orbit with your attention. But positioning is one thing. The next sign involves physical contact that feels like an accident, but isn't. 6. You are sitting next to her. Her knee bumps yours under the table. You apologize and shift your leg away. You are walking side by side and her hand brushes the back of yours. You pull your hand into your pocket to avoid making it awkward. You just rejected her physical advance. Men think physical touch starts with a hand on the thigh or an arm around the shoulder. Women start much smaller. They test the waters with micro touches, the knee bump, the arm brush, the toe touch. These are plausible deniability touches. If you react negatively, she can say it was an accident. Oops, sorry, crowded table. But it wasn't an accident. She knows exactly where her limbs are. She is checking your temperature. She is trying to break the touch barrier. She wants to see if you pull away, rejection, or if you lean into it, acceptance. When you move away to be polite, you are telling her body that you are repulsed or nervous. You are re-erecting the physical wall she just tried to tear down. You are training her not to touch you. Once you have held the contact for a moment, escalate. Press your knee slightly back against hers. If her hand brushes yours, don't hide it. Let your hand stay near hers or brush hers back later. Reciprocate the accident. And finally, the most dangerous sign of all, the one that uses other men to provoke you. 7. You hear her mention another guy? Maybe it's a coworker, a guy at the gym, or someone who slid into her DMs. You immediately deflate. Your stomach drops. You think, she's interested in him, or worse, she sees me as one of the girls she can vent to. You shut down. You pull back to protect your ego. You just walked away from an open goal. She is not telling you about him because she wants him. She is telling you about him to see if you want her enough to claim her. This is competition bait. Women understand supply and demand instinctively. By mentioning other suitors, she is reminding you that she is a scarce resource. She is shaking the red cape to see if the bull will charge. She wants to trigger your masculine aggression. She is asking, are you going to step up, or are you going to let this other guy take what could be yours? If you get sulky, passive-aggressive, or quiet, you fail. You prove you are insecure. You prove you don't think you can compete. The action step. Never show jealousy. Treat the other guy like a fan, not a rival. He is irrelevant. If she says a guy hit on her, do not ask, "What did you say?" Instead, smirk and say, "I don't blame him. He obviously has good taste." If she mentions a male friend, shrug it off completely. Show her that you are so confident in your value that other men don't even register as threats. You are the king. They are just peasants trying to get a look at the queen. Now that you can read the code, you have a choice to make. The confusion ends here. You now possess the map that 99% of men are too blind to see. The next time she lingers, touches your arm, or steps into your space, you won't freeze. You will act. She doesn't want a question mark. She wants an exclamation point. She is waiting for you to lead, to escalate, and to close the distance. Do not let her down. If you are ready to stop guessing and start taking what you want, hit the like button to seal this contract with yourself. Subscribe right now so you never miss the intel that keeps you ahead of the pack. The window is open. Jump through it or watch another man close it for you.